What's up, Millennial Rolodexers? The Rolodexy. How's everybody doing out there? It is pretty rainy today, and I gotta be honest with you, when it rains, I am very tired all the time. I don't know if you're down with that, if you're down to clown, but I'm currently just sitting at my desk looking out the rainy window and sipping my cup of coffee. I am in the vibe zone right now. I'm gonna take a little sip right now. You'll hear it. Hope that sounded good. How's everybody's week going? How's everybody's day going? How is everybody doing? Um, where did we leave off last? Oh, what would I have been up to? We had a Halloween party, a 70th birthday party, and a Halloween party, a costume party mixed into one. And if you listen to last episode, I was the Big Lebowski, the dude. But let me just tell you, two people knew who I was, and everybody else did not think I was the dude from the Big Lebowski, which in all fairness, my hair wasn't blonde or long, so I could understand how they didn't know who I was. But I had the sweater, man. Like I had his sweater, and I was wearing pajamas, and honestly, that's the move. When you go to a costume party, wear pajamas. Make a pajama, somebody who wears pajamas your costume, because that is the move. Because I was super cozy, all party. I had my slippers on, I had my pajama pants on, and I had a nice wool sweater on, and it was just super vibey. Unless you want to be hot, unless you want to be a hottie, baddie, baddie hattie, whatever they say. I don't know. Once again, I am very tired right now. Just due to the weather. It's just chill weather right now. Or it could be seasonal depression. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not. It's funny. I was talking to my better half, and we were talking about like how we're like, it's this time of year, you get down, and there's so much going on and stuff, and it's like, I really believe that we this is the time of year where we have to be highly adaptable. We have to be like so like she's in school right now, so she had all her midterms, she has all these tests, she has all these things, and like coming up, so she's constantly working on her art, her paintings, her drawing. She's reading books, studying, she's going to work. So like it's funny because when you're doing one of these things, you're so involved in it. Like you're balls deep in it. Like you're staring at it. You're just that's your world, right? So if you're reading an article for your class, you look up. Now you're out of the article. You're looking up, and it's like, oh shit! Now I'm in reality, and it takes you a while to adjust to that. And then you're like, oh, now I'm outside, and it's like cold outside. It was warm inside, now it's cold. My body's adjusting to this. I have to like adjust to this, and now like it's raining. I gotta adjust to the rain. It was dry where I am, so it's like all these levels of like every all this temperature change, um, and you have to be highly adapted to that. You have to like highly. You have to be able to switch so quickly in your mind, um, that you don't feel like that lull. Because I'll be honest with you, when you're when you are doing something, right? When you're doing a task, or when you're like listening to a podcast or watching a movie, you're so involved in it. So when that's over, kind of like you have this like void inside of you, because now you're like, oh wow, I was just in this really cool reality, and now that I'm not in the reality anymore. You just have to be able to switch your thought process. You have to be able to just like when you once you get out of there, be like, all right, this is my reality right now. I'm in front of my significant other. Like this is also dope. This reality is really dope. And I think that I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think that we have these like we live in a fantasy, right? Like we're living in a fantasy world of like, oh, my reality is this book, my reality is this show, my reality is this movie, my reality is this painting, and then I'm on YouTube, I'm scrolling, my reality is this. Then I look up, and then like this is like a dull world. But it is an adult world. It's kind of it's really it's an awesome world, and the simple fact that you're living in it and anything is possible and you don't need to do anything. There's like I said, like I always say, like there's no rules and there's nothing that you need to do. So yeah, I don't know. That was just a ramble of the day. I don't even know. It's so funny when I start to talk and when I start to think and this stream of consciousness goes, it's just like I don't even know what I say. And it's funny because I'll listen back to this just to make sure like, all right, everything sounds good, like the audio is good and stuff. And I'll listen to it and I'll be like, wow, I do not remember saying that, or I don't remember sounding like that when I said it. It's so trippy to listen back to you. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan of my own voice, so I all day I'll do it. um, so, but it is funny to listen back and be like, oh wow, those is kind of like is an interesting psychological thing. It's like, oh, that's where my mind was going. That's where my mind was going. That's where my mind was going. So that was a lot of energy that I just expected. What have I been up to? So we went there. We went to the costume party, and it was fun. I had a good time. Uh, Uncle's 70th birthday party was really nice. Everybody had a good time. A little bit of drinking, a little bit of eating, a lot of fun, a lot of funny costumes. A lot of good costumes. What else? And afterwards, all of the younger cousins, younger, I mean, I'm 35, so the next youngest cousin was like 20, is 28, and they all wanted to go out. That's the oldest of the youngest cousins after me, by the way. They all wanted to go out to this little bar called the Nutty Irishman, where my other cousin, a younger gal, is a bartender, and we went there, and I don't know who I think I am. I don't know how old do I think I am, but we stayed out until 5 in the morning. It was super fun, very, very fun. And we all went back to our aunt's house, and this is the part where you really do realize you're 35 years of age. When you go out drinking, I was good, I was fine. I got a little saucy, but I was out until 5. I was hitting the dance floor, I was still drinking, all this stuff. The next morning, everybody wakes up. We get home at 5, probably go to sleep around 5:30, knock right out. Get wait Everybody wakes up about 9ish, 9:30, and it that I wake up a little bit hungover, still a little drunk, hungover, feeling like somebody is hitting me in the head with a hammer. And it takes me until about 1:30, 2 o'clock to get my full energy so I could drive home on Sunday morning. So that's my thing. I don't know any other 35-year-olds, any other millennials out there that try to hang with their younger family members out in the bar. You won't feel it that day, but is definitely recovery is definitely different when you hit after I think you hit 30, honestly. 35 for sure, but after you hit 30, like your body's is like, bro, what did you do to yourself? So it's actually funny because it seems I really don't go out drinking a lot, or I don't go out a lot at all, but the rare times I do now, it's like once a year I'll go out. Like last year it was Oktoberfest, and I got too saucy on Oktoberfest, and my boy had to drive me home from from the piers in the city. And I think what ended up, anytime there's an open bar, I think my mind does something crazy because I don't remember doing this when I was younger. But I think what happened was when I was younger and we would go drinking or go to parties and stuff, I was more like resilient the next day and able to recoup rather quickly, regenerate my powers rather quickly. I feel like a superhero that's like slowly regaining their powers when I'm hungover, and it actually feels pretty good when you're regaining them. But yeah, I don't remember being like not knowing my limits, especially I guess now in my later years. I remember like, all right, this is my limit, and for the most part, when I go out drinking, like when I have a couple of drinks or whatever, I know my limits, and I know my I know, all right, don't get too drunk because you're not going to feel good the next day. But rare occasions, like once a year now, I'm going out and I'm not really thinking about it. It's so odd. Like last year Oktoberfest What happened was we paid for like these tickets and we had open bar for 2 hours. This is my theory on this one because I got so drunk I really after the 2 hours I was throwing up and like falling asleep, so I had to be taken home. Which is, at 34, it's not a good look, but I think we need to, I think it's an amazing look when you're on Oktoberfest. You're giving the kids something to look forward to. You're being a good role model for these Oktoberfest kids. For these kids in general. Like, yeah, life doesn't end after 30. You could still make horrible decisions and be very irresponsible. So, so it was open bar for 2 hours, only 2 hours. You could drink after that and eat after that, but only 2 hours. So I kept on chugging steins of beer, which steins are those big mugs. They're typically on Oktoberfest, like German beer big mugs. You'll see like a person wearing lederhosen and drinking with these steins. So they're probably like two drinks in one. And I kept on going back to the bartender and be like, "Give me the I think it was like 7.6, 7.8, whatever." And I was just, because I didn't know the name of the beer, I was just saying, "Give me the percentage of alcohol of the beer." And I kept on just chugging it and chugging it. And I chugged like two in the first like 15 minutes because I'm like, I'm getting my fucking money's worth, people. And then I ended up with like after at like an hour and a half, like six. I chugged six of those. And yeah, it didn't end well. I don't, luckily I had my boy, one of my good friends, got me home. So that was last year, and I'm assuming I just didn't put it in my mind that, oh, all 5 6 steins aren't going to affect me. I'm just going to drink and get my money's worth. And then cut to this year, October as well, costume party. I think October is when I do it. Maybe that might be the German inside of me, my German, my part German heritage. I have to get wasted in October. But we go out and we went to the party, and the party I drank a little bit, not nothing crazy, like 1 2 drinks, the costume party, and then we go out to the Nutty Irishman, and pretty much everything is comped, because my cousin, like I said, is a bartender there, and it's a great time and stuff, and we're having fun, and we're drinking high noons. And so I had a high noon. Somebody kept on handing me high noons. I'm getting high noon. Somebody's handing me a high noon. I'm drinking a high noon. I have a high noon in my other hand, and I stuff a high noon in my pocket. And that's just from 10 when we got there to 5 in the morning. That was me. In the midst of taking green tea shots, which I highly recommend and also don't recommend, because green tea shots are delicious, and I'm sure that's what fucks you up more. Excuse my language. So yeah, so so that was a fun night, and I think that, and I guess it was another sort of open bar, like somebody handing me drinks and I wasn't thinking about it, but I wasn't, see, that's the difference though. I wasn't bad. I wasn't intoxicated. I got home fine. I remember everything. It was just the next morning and I wasn't recouping that great. So yeah, I guess I just need to be like that. I think I just need this once a year. So next year in October, I'm definitely gonna get swashy, I feel. Um, and hopefully, and build great memories. I'm also still recovering from that was Saturday. That was the last Saturday. This is Thursday, and I'm still recovering right now. So guys, I'm telling you, my fellow millennials, take it easy when you go out, even though I don't have to say that because you're probably a responsible, functioning adult. I am a perennial child, and no matter how old I get, I think I'm going to continue to make these ridiculous choices in life, which I don't know, man. I think that's also a part of it. I think that's a part of life, man. Just go out, have fun, and don't. The difference between me and like probably other people is other people will be like, "Oh man, I'm such an idiot," or "I made such a fool of myself," or "I can't believe I'm this old and I do this." Can't be too hard on yourself, man. You got to keep that inner child in there, man, and just like be like, "All right, fuck it. I'm gonna whatever. It's not the worst thing in the world. I didn't kill nobody. I went out. I had a good time. So what? I was a little hungover, and it took me a little bit the next day and the next couple days to really recuperate. But you gotta do that. You gotta make those kind of mistakes. You gotta fall down to get back up, baby. What did Rocky say? It's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get up, all right? And that's what the best that's the best analogy I could give you. I'm pretty sure that's what Rocky was talking about. Drinking heavily one day a year when you're 35, when you're in your 30s. Um, what else? I've been on this binge of just like watching my boy from Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast, Matt McCusker. He did like a podcast tour, and I think he's one of the funniest people ever, and I think he's one of definitely the naturally like him talking funniest and intellectually ridiculous but smart people. And so I've been just on a binge of listening and watching his interviews on and him doing like the podcast circuit, like the interview circuit on different podcasts. And that's pretty much how I've been spending my social media, aka my YouTube time. um it's actually funny because for the most part he's been like his personality is good. Meshes well with um, a lot of these shows that he goes on, a lot of these podcasts that he goes on. I'm trying to remember the names of them. I can't remember them right now, but they're all like they're kind of like guy ones that are like very similar and just have like different ideas, but like funny kind of like sarcastic humor. But there was one that he went on, and I was like, I had to stop listening to it because the host, which I actually like the host. I'm not going to say the podcast because I don't even remember what the name of this podcast was. But their energy was so crazy and chaotic, and so like probably what this show is right today. With the show with this podcast, what I'm doing right now, that I had to shut it off because it was just like they were letting him get a. I think they were honestly. I think they were excited that he was on the show, and because he's such like a funny, like known person, and they just kept on. They were like so hyped and so hyper that it was kind of like, all right, they were just really hype, and he was kind of just like leveling it out in his chill, in a chill way. So it was like less about him as the guest on the podcast and more about their just energy being crazy, asking questions, and then not really letting him answer. So I had to shut that off. So that goes to show you. And I think not. I think I'm working on. Obviously, I've been doing this is the fifth show. I'm gonna be doing. I do these solo ones, but I've been talking to a couple of peeps, and I'm gonna do a have some guests on in the next couple weeks. So, we're gonna see how that goes. So I'm gonna try to put my listening cap on and not my talking cap, because the solo episodes. I mean, I have to talk the whole all the way through. Excuse me. I have to talk all the way through, and that could get a little tiring, hard, and then at the end of it, you're kind of like I said at the beginning, you're kind of just like, I don't even know what I said, if that was legible, if that's even good to put out, because it just might be just a stream of consciousness crazy, which it is. So it's going out regardless, but um, it is hard. So hopefully when I am when the guests come on, it will be a little bit of a different dynamic. But we're all of us involved still feeling the show out. The show is still being felt out, and I think that's also a perennial thing that's going to happen in this show, which it's just with this and also with life. Like, you gotta allow yourself to grow, man. You gotta allow like anything you do to grow, and it's like this isn't going to be perfect ever. If it ever turns, if this ever listen, if this podcast ever turns listenable, then that would be a miracle. But you have to allow yourself to do it and put it out, and to whatever it is. For me, it's this right now in the moment, but you have to allow yourself to do things and get to and allow yourself the time to get better, because realistically, you can't get better at doing things by not doing them. You have to be bad at the thing first, and then you'll do it enough where you might grow little by little. You know, there's that, what is that? Whoever had that quote, you have to put 10,000 hours into something to become good at it or become a master or whatever that saying is, you know, and my half-ass knowledge of things that I bring up is always entertaining to me. But yeah, you have to put in the time and you have to be bad at something at first in order for you to get good at it. So just remember, you're not going to be perfect at everything, and just keep it going, you know. And you know that's actually another thing that's one of the main things I like from that I was listening to Matt McCuster, his podcast. It's funny because you know on YouTube you could like see like what your searches are. So this one is the first one's Matt McCuster because I've just been watching like looking for his interviews and podcasts that he's on and stuff. And then right underneath that is Göbekli Tepe because I'm just interested in the ancient civilizations and the mysteries. So those are my two interests right now: Matt McCuster this week and Göbekli Tepe and what's going on over there. For people who don't know, Göbekli Tepe is like one of the oldest human structures. It's that they're dating back to like 15,000 years ago, and they're saying that like it kind of blows the doors off how we think civilization was back in the ancient times and when civilization, intelligent civilization really started. And I'm not going to get into that this episode because I am very into that and very have a lot of theories and thought processes and a lot to get into. So maybe that will be next episode. We'll talk about ancient societies and stuff, but those are my two interests, Göbekli Tepe and Matt McCuster at this moment. And Matt McCuster, one of the reasons why I like him and his thought process of life and stuff is like he's just jamming out and he's just kind of like living his life and kind of going for the ride and how, you know, and he doesn't, and it's like not that judgy and he's like, oh yeah, do your thing, man. Like he gives a very positive outlook on things. And before him and Shane Gillis had their podcast and had a super successful podcast and were both like really successful famous comedians. They were just doing it in like they were roommates with like 5 other guys and they were just doing their podcast and nobody knew about it at all, and they were just doing it every day. So that just shows you like, you know, you have to do the thing. You have to do it and nobody's going to watch you and people are going to hate on you and you're going to look silly and ridiculous, but hey, look, if I could do this, you could do anything. Just remember that, guys. I think that's it for now. This has been a hard episode because I'm still recuperating from Saturday, mind you. It's Thursday, like I said, right now. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your week, rest of your day, and have a great weekend because this is gonna drop and then you're gonna be on your weekend. And if you're listening to this and you're like, oh man, you know, life is crazy, seasonal depression, I'm feeling down because a lot of people are feeling down right now. Just remember, if I went out last Saturday and could make a fool of myself, then you could go out this weekend and make the same exact fool out of yourself. All right, everybody? So go out, have fun, get drunk, drink 1 beer too many. Don't drive. Do not drive. Get home safely. But drink. Drink. Drink and be merry, all right? It's so funny because I'm like promoting getting drunk right now. And I just think that's funny for some reason. I don't know why. All right, I love you guys. Go get drunk this weekend. Bye.